here. We're on 703. Well, I've got a different chart here. This is a Jeppesen chart, but I've got the Navtech chart for my iPad. It is pushback to face southeast on Alpha, but we'll confirm the clearance with the ground crew. So we'll have a guess. We're going to go home. Well, we can at least get the pushback tug here and then do it anyway, can't we? Home, ground services, better pushback, pre-plan. No, connect first, that's what we want. Excellent. And we're just going to put the anti-collision light on. Again, you wouldn't usually do it at this stage, but it's what triggers the boarding to terminate with the Zeebo mod. Better get the UPU on as well. Still these comments. Jeez. Rick Van Ackman, is it possible to link Navigraph charts to the Avitab? Yes, it is. That's exactly what I've done. If you go on Explain 11 forum, Avitab, follow his instructions, he'll tell you exactly what you need to do there.
Ground, Ryanair 361, vacated runway
That's not him.
3, requesting taxi to stand.
Ryanair 2361.
So we put tower as the next reaching, which is 1183.
Via Sierra, Oscar and Mike.
And 17, Sierra, Oscar and Mike.
Excellent, so APU just need to wait for that to start up. Jesus, if you go on that VAT map, guys, it's like a bees or wasps nest, Warsaw. There's just so many aircraft on VATSIM today. Incredible. Perfect. So, better pushback's doing its thing outside. Yeah, it's lifting us up. APU should be available. They wouldn't be lifting you up if you had the GPU still connected. Habitat. Oh no, where is it? Ground services disconnect. Right. I'll check in with this guy. And it was stand 703. Perfect. Warsaw ground, good evening. Broadsword 02. Stand 703. Request push and start.
Warsaw 002, Okręcie ground, hello. Startup is approved QNH 1016, and I think pushback is not required.
Okay, engine start approved, QNH 1016, engine start standby call ready for taxi, Broadsword 02. Well, that confirmed my suspicions.
Roger, call ready for taxi.
Cool, better pushback, terminate.
Lockheed 7, contact.
I hope he just disappears, but we'll see in a second. But we'll get the engine started anyway whilst he's doing his business. So air conditioning packs off, APU bleed on, parking brake set, transponder is out, off. So yeah, I'd probably in real life know if it was a pushback because there'd be a tug there or not, but I could have guessed that. Right, anyway, we'll start the engines. Place engine number 2. Disconnect hand signals, see you later. So N2 rotation, N1, all pressure,
It hasn't got the iPad on the left.
25%. There we go.
Display.
Whilst he's lowering us again, but never mind. Excellent. Good. That's a shame we haven't got the terminal over there because all the terminals there, they had all the little passengers in there. It was pretty cool. Well, I don't know about Warsaw. That's probably where all the legacy carriers and long haul airlines are kept. Right, starter cut out. Monitor engine number 2. 2 looks stable. Starting engine number 1.
See, look at all the stuff we have to do.
Someone asked which version of Explain is it? It's the latest one, the one with all the new particle effects, 11.3 something, and this is a pre-beta version. I've personally not had any problems with the new Explain, but I didn't update it. I think it just does it through Steam automatically.
He's been talking like he's sorting all these buttons out and setting the flex for
Excellent,
about
25%.
15 minutes now.
One thing I like about these streams, I'm very chilled out compared to real life. It's hard work. This is far more hard work than it is doing it in real life, though. Abbas Abukar, does dual bleed from APU and engine Bad for the aircraft, yes, very bad. But like this, it's fine, so long as you don't go more than above the idle thrust. That's the only way to get the engine started with the APU. Right, starter cadet monitor. One, it's all stable. Let's go. So APU off. Continuous. We'll need the wing and engine anti-ice on again.
Pilot for Tango Foxtrot, please set squawk 4563.
Set flaps. 5 required. 5 selected. Trim. Forgot to set the trim. So we'll get about 6 units here. Again, that's very off the cuff. I just know that works. So roughly with this configuration and C of G. Flight controls. Forward, back, left, right, rudder. Left, centre, for right, centre, recall, like the lower DU, and then you do the before taxi checklist, which I'm confident in now that I think it's all done, as opposed to Gdansk, where I was being constantly heckled to and talked to. Right, so airport, we are facing this kind of northeasterly direction, so I'm guessing it's going to be Mike 1, Mike Alpha. We'll get the taxi routing. I've got the chart open here as well, so we should know where we're going to be going. Okechi Ground, Broadsword 02, request taxi. Oh, I really offended him. I have no idea how to pronounce that. Okechi.
Broadsword 02, taxi Mike Zulu Alpha Echo, holding point runway 29er, and hold short of Oscar.
Taxi Mike Zulu Alpha Echo, hold short of 29er, hold short of Oscar at Broadsword 02. Right, so he's cleared us to go Mike. Just looking at my chart first, guys. And then he said Zulu Alpha, found that. And then to Echo, but he said hold short of Oscar. So he shouldn't give us the rest of the taxi clearance. Alright, he told us to hold at Oscar, but he shouldn't give us the rest of the clearance. So he should just say hold at Oscar. So Oscar's here, look. So we're going to go on this bit of taxiway, hold short of Oscar intersection. But we're going to go straight ahead. Mike, Zulu, hold short of Oscar. Alright, so parking brake released. Config, no takeoff config warning horn. Let's get going.
Oh yeah, they always is when I do.
So we're going to go straight ahead to Mike, make a right turn, and then on to Zulu. So yeah, he should have said Mike, Zulu Alpha, hold short of Oscar, but he did say Echo 29 as well.
See, they know what they're supposed to say. In the real airplane,
taxi to holding point runway 29er via uniform Zulu Alpha and Echo, hold short over Alpha. Brake, negative,
so I think because I've got the proper scenery, looking at the other traffic, it's all correctly, the elevation's a lot better. It's not floating like it did in Gdansk and all the other airports I've been to. I don't know if it's because the elevation's correctly coded here on this scenery.
Even said just before.
You forgot the flight directors. Brilliant spot, whoever that was. Brilliant spot. So yeah, I usually check the routing, do an instrument cross check to spot that. But I would have noticed when I pushed LNAV, it wouldn't engage. So yeah, rushed that a little bit there. So guys, I'm going the pace I would usually go in real life without doing the full checks and checklists. So it's there might be some little mistakes here. Very good spot, whoever that was, Rick Van Eckeren. Be embarrassing. I got to the runway, realised one of the engines was turned off. Anyway, here we are. So right onto Zulu very shortly. We want Zulu 1 for that. And you can see probably why he wants us to hold short of Oscar.
On 21st of Tango, we need 2 minutes. Our brakes are a little hot, so we can't really move. Is that okay?
Quality 47 Tango negative, please log off if you want to brake. Currently is event, so we are very busy on this threshold.
So here's Zulu. For some reason I've noticed when you taxi in I'm having to use a lot of thrust to move here. You should be accelerating quite quickly with 40%. So I say pitot heat, I forget the pitot heat? No, pitot heat's on. Pitot heat's on there.
PC Grand, good evening, Happy Independence, November 820 Mike Hotel, Oscar 1, taxi, looking for 8.
Yeah, if you don't put that on, that's not
0.
Oh, who the hell's that?
November 820, Mike Hotel, ground, hello.
sometimes the flight, the ground crew leave the covers on it.
Cool, so we're on the taxiway now and just approaching
Gets to about 600 feet.
Oscar.
everything
There's
stops.
Alpha. 3, and Oscar's going to be the next point here. So you see these little lights
The amount of
here.
crashes could
This is Oscar, so we're going to hold short here.
The ground crew fucked it up.
Lot 4 Tango
Only
Foxtrot,
instruments
continue
fucking
taxi.
don't work. It says you're going 300 miles an hour and you're only going like 120. It says you're at like 2,000 feet and you're really at like 100.
Yeah, it looks like all the aircraft are on the correct height here, which is pretty cool. Apart from the gear being up on the 7th floor, but...
The amount of airplane crashes.
So here's Oscar here, so we're going to hold short here. Yeah, it's so good when you've got proper scenery, all the proper markings as well. So much easier to
Right,
see.
check them and somebody said he checked straight away.
Number 37.
You can't fuck that up.
37 from my
Well,
hotel, so that's on
also-
Oscar. Join Alpha and 37.
I don't know about that.
So we're just going to hold short here.
Ground, good afternoon.
So I'm going to give way to this guy.
Mike, stand 704, ready for push and start.
You wait, what is it for? We're fucking crossing.
Renner 5 Sierra Mike, start taki zatrudny 1016 and I think that is
Quick sip of the water.
need to call when ready for taxi.
It's super busy, yes, Abbas, it is. Super busy.
Push start, approval call for taxi, Ryanair 5 Sierra
Yeah,
Mike.
how fast you taxi? I do about 70 miles an hour.
Broadsword 01 on the Alpha taxiway holding short Oscar.
Not supposed to. I think your thrust is at 40%.
So
or higher.
002
02.
giveaway around 60 from your right.
Our whole position giving way to the Delta 76 Broadsword 02, whatever that is. I think he said something else. But that might be a generic registration. So he wants us to hold position.
Quality 47 Tango, hold
Set parking
position,
brake.
where are you taxiing?
Last Lindenberg, how fast do you normally taxi? So taxiway up to 30 knots maximum, apron 15. Backtracking on the runway goes as fast as 50.
What did you say? 40? 30? Backtrack 50?
I don't think that is a Delta 73. He's done very well to get here, if it is.
30? I do about 70.
So he told us the whole position. Don't know if there's anyone else. So I'm just going to check the weather in Krakow. Also waiting here. Seems okay at the moment. 5,000 meters missed. Should be fine for a Cat 1 ILS, but it is forecast to get foggy after 2000 Zulu. That's in about 4 hours' time, so we should be absolutely fine going into Krakow. So I don't know why there's such a
Quality 47
delay.
Tango, where are you taxiing? Hold position.
Oh dear.
Quality 47 Tango, use stand number 47.
So yeah, I mean, I give you a little bit of break because it is difficult taxiing exactly correctly.
Broadsword 002, continue taxi, sorry.
Broadsword 02, taxiing holding point Echo 29er. No worries. So release parking brake before you start moving. Yeah, when you commence taxi, guys, usually 30 to 35% is what you need to get moving. I don't know why it is. It seems to be requiring a little bit more in Warsaw. I don't know if it's the slope or something, but setting about 40 to get us going. So the rest of the taxi routing then, Alpha, it bends round to Echo, and then it'll be holding point Echo for runway 29, which is all the way here. Okay, so we can do the before takeoff checklist. So configs checked, flaps we have 5.5, Green light, stab trim set for takeoff, got about 6 units set. Takeoff briefing, Pax Auto, bleeds on, the V-speeds are set for takeoff, 136, 137, 144, set. The departure of Vina 7 Golf, climb straight ahead to Whiskey Alpha 921, then to EVDEX, and climbing to altitude 6,000 feet, which is set on the MCP. We'd also set in the FMC as well, but we'll just leave it there for now. And Squawk is in. 4573. Weather seems to have improved. LVP is probably still in force in reality, but we're happy with the taxi routing, so that's reviewed. And cabin secure. I did see someone comment about the pace I'm doing things. You know, I could slow down, I guess, but my tutorials are more better paced, so you can really look your time. I really like replicating what I do in real life. I can slow it down a tad to explain what I'm doing. If you wish, it's really what the feedback is. When I started my tutorials, I fully was far too fast. I didn't know really what pace to set it at, but I've definitely worked on doing that. I'm doing more live streams now than before because it is from a planning.
Bravo 002, you missed the Echo taxi. On the next crossway, turn left, join November, next right.
I've just messed up, guys. Okay, yeah, sorry, I was a little lost there. Just going to cross at November to Echo 2. So that's why I should not be talking, guys. I've missed the turn.
Correct.
So I'm going to make a left here. Guys, that's really embarrassing. So sorry. So yeah, this is why we have sterile cockpit. I'm just about to enter an active runway. So I'm going to turn left here. Unbelievable professionalism. Unbelievable. That's really embarrassing.
Alpha Echo to runway 29.
So that's why we have sterile cockpit, guys. Sterile cockpit. Unbelievable. I'm really embarrassed by that. So anyway, all we've done, we've crossed on to November 1. Just like this, look, and then on to Echo 3.
Oh, why is it booking?
So you get a right telling off for that. At least I didn't enter the active runway. That would have been really bad. Embarrassing. Anyway, here we go. We're now on the correct taxiway. He's on the ball at least. He could see.
Fucking mouse.
You could see I'd cock that up.
Eh? It's
calling you.
Don't worry about it, Mr. Pilot. The beauty of the flight sim.
I was testing it, that's what it was.
Fuck off.
Perfect. So hopefully get handed over to tower shortly as we approach Hull Point Echo. Yeah, could. Could have gone on the runway, Labouche, you're quite right. That was a little unprofessional of me. But you would not be chatting. Tower on 118.3, broadsword 02. Yeah, thanks for the heads up. Just testing you there. Bye. Banter.
Just testing
He's being too professional, but doesn't take the banter. That should be on as well. Anyway, 118.3 for tower. Next frequency then. Should be, we've got Warsaw Approach, it could be any of these, 128.805, but we'll check it in a second. This is very, using a lot of thrust here. Martin R, the missed turn will be on Av Herald. Yes, it could be Av Herald. That's a good site if you want to know about incidents and accidents. You'd see fly deck to sim runway incursion due to talking to streamers. Judy183 coming in with 10 zloty. Thank you very much for the tip and donation.
Well, it
Just
wasn't
on the
written
chat.
Virgin. You didn't go onto it.
So here's holding point Echo. Let's double to make sure. Yes, Echo 3 for runway 29. Not going to make that mistake again, guys. Okechi Tower, good evening. Broadsword 02, taxi holding point Echo 3, runway 29, ready for departure.
Last calling station, please say only call sign.
Broadsword 02. Oops, call sign only, is it?
Broadsword 02, line up runway 29
Elton's only got 2.
Line up and wait 29, Broadsword 02. Okay, so clear the line up and wait. Excellent. MCP is set. Transponder, TRA, strobe lights, they are on. Holding on the landing lights with the radar on as well.
That in a plane, they wouldn't be talking and stuff. They'd just concentrate on everything.
Gui Sousa, don't forget to close the cockpit door. Yes, the cabin crew remember to do it today.
Active runway ahead, look. Careful.
Excellent. So I'd usually go idle thrust, but I need to keep the thrust up here.
Runway ahead, careful. Don't turn right. Don't worry about it, Mr. Pilot.
Swiss 44 Whiskey, welcome to Warszawa, contact Okechi Ground 1.
So there's a BA Jumbo. Wouldn't expect that here, but each their own. I think that's just a generic one there.
I do 70 mile an hour.
Cool, anyway, there we are.
Taxiways half time, so I don't. Who cares? But then that's probably why I don't fly really.
Cool.
Yeah, well, I do
So
70
runway
mile an hour,
headings
we're going
289 QDM.
So
It's a big displaced threshold here on runway 29. Excellent. So I'll just hold it on the brakes here.
Lufthansa cargo 8386.
Perfect. So I'm not 100% sure the next frequency.
Reduce minimum approach speed for the
So
carway.
we've got centre, we've got delivery. This it could be approach frequency. We'll go with 128805. Is that active? As a guess.
Position lock
128805. Cool. There we go.
Cool.
Strict noise abatement here. Yeah, so it is another NADP1 departure.
I didn't know you could press for emergency departure.
AFM Broadsword 02 ready to go.
But you can just press them. Oh, unless that's just on Zebo.
So as soon as he gives clearance, we're going.
So prepare for emergency departure.
Oh.
Traffic prepare.
Okay, fully ready to go. Holding position. Broadsword 02. Perfect. So as soon as he goes, we'll get the thrust up to 40% and get going. Yes, obviously some spacing for landing on runway 33 as well.
Right, 5 Sierra Mike, holding position.
So there's traffic landing. Locked.
5 Sierra Mike here or number 3 for departure.
Oh, I wish you know what? I wish simming was like this when I was doing this back in 2002. So good now. So good. That sim's the place to be. He told me to be ready for immediate, so. Oh, this guy's come to quite an abrupt stop.
Locate runway via Sierra 1.
Oh, I think he's messed it all up. He stopped too quickly.
Sierra 1,
highly rated. It's the one to get. Because all the computer stuff's right and stuff. Well, you know, sort of.
Perfect. So yeah, it looks like Krakow we should be fine for the Cat 1 ILS into there. You know, if it's really good, I might demonstrate a raw data ILS for you. You know, show you what to do if you turn the flight directors off, which is something we can't do in real life. We have to always.
Break. Lufthansa cargo 838 wind is 130 degrees, 7 knots, runway 33 clear to land.
Oh, crikey. So I just wanted to stop there because he's giving us all clear to land. So I might do a raw data, but see what the visibility's like. If it's pretty bad, we'll probably stick to the Cat 1.
Liner 3 for Bravo, against tower, hello, continue approach, you are number 2, reduce speed to me approach speed.
Yes, Aviator, I remember. I was drinking a bottle of water. Thirsty work, this streaming. Thirsty work.
Lot 528, welcome to Warszawa.
So much for the immediate clearance, I think, because that guy stopped very abruptly. He couldn't give us the immediate takeoff clearance. Yeah, it would have been tight squeeze. So Lufthansa 76? I don't even know. You guys would be far better at recognising their aircraft. It's a Finnair Airbus there. We spent a lot of time waiting on runways for takeoff today, haven't we? Our stream was meant to be about 2.5 hours. We're going to have to overshoot slightly.
Ryanair 3 for Bravo, wind is 130 degrees, 7 knots, runway 33 clear to land.
So yeah, you always take precedence over landing aircraft here.
Lufthansa cargo, welcome to Warszawa. Contact against
What's the mouse?
Clear to land.
Fuck off.
121 no, thank you, Lufthansa cargo 836.
Perfect. So I'd never do this in real life, but if I'm going to wait for a while, I'm going to put some of the information in the FMC for the flight. You'd never do this on the whole point, but just because it's such a short flight is no problem. Actually, on very short sectors, you've got time. You can do this on stand before you get airborne, because it does save it all there. So this, every minute you can save on a short sector is very useful. 100.215 at 15. There we go. Saved ourselves 30 seconds. Can even put the fixings in.
Tower, this is Lancile 1224 on the left runway 33.
And 10, and it'll be 5 miles probably.
Land 1224, consider flow, continue approach.
So hopefully he'll get us a little gap to get us out of soon. Oops, make sure the takeoff page for takeoff is
002, sorry for delay, wind is 127 knots, runway 29 clear for takeoff after departure, contact Warszawa approach on frequency 128.8.
Oh, very good.
Flight, bye bye.
Runway 29 cleared takeoff after departure, contact 128.8, thank you very much, Portal 02, Trinquia. So he's got a clearance, let's get going, taxi light on, timing 288. 288. We are all stabilised. Toga, set takeoff thrust. Let's get a crack off. Go, takeoff thrust indications normal.
Ryanair 34 Bravo, contact against ground 1119, bye-bye.
121 Ryanair 34 Bravo.
There we go. Checked, hand off the hand off thrust lever, no, keep the thrust lever, hand on the thrust lever till V1, relieve the forward pressure at 80 knots.
God, that must be high for him. Go.
And rotate 2 to 2.5 degrees per second, through the deadband, up to 15 degrees, target attitude, onto the flight directors. Pause rate, gear up.
Land 1224, wind is 130.
Gear up.
Okay, straight back into the cloud again. Now this is something I don't like about X-Plane 11, this ridiculous disco stress flashing lights. It's nowhere near as proper. You don't even see it hardly. You can fix it by turning the strobes and anti-collision light off, which I might do, because it does get a bit annoying, especially if you're epileptic or something. Right, 1,000 feet command day, and we won't bug up again until we're 3,000 feet above aerodrome level, and we'll contact departures now. So yeah, this flashing light is, you know, it's way too much. So just put that to steady. It looks like we're out of the cloud for now, so we'll put this there. Excellent. So we'll bug up at 3,000 feet because it's very noise sensitive again out of Warsaw. I think it's Warsaw approach, isn't it? Yeah. Perfect. Still very busy, aircraft holding there. Lovely, look at the lighting here, the sun's just set. Ah, traffic again. So bug up at 3,300 feet. Okay, bug up.
TCAS alert.
Warsaw approach, very good evening. Broadsword 02 Avena 7 Golf, passing 3,400 for altitude 6,000 feet. Flaps 1.
Broadsword 02 Warszawa, radar contact translator 00 na height approach.
Oh, I couldn't add a word about Broadsword 02, sorry, say again. Flaps up.
Climb 200, direct Edina, height approach.
Climb flight level 200, direct Edina, Broadsword 02 Cinque. Okay, so set 200 check, that's our final cleared cruise level, set standard. We can now engage Avena, passing for 0 for flight level 200 after takeoff checklist. And he did clear us, direct Avena, I hope. We'll find out in a second. There we go, that's a good shortcut, all now available. Right, after takeoff checklist. Oops, don't need engine anti-ice for now, so PM would have turned that off. Obviously, single pilot. Gotta do it all yourself. So. Air conditioning pressurization 1.2. This should be set to 200. That's why we do these checks on the after takeoff checklist. On, auto, checked. Air conditioning pressurization set. Altimeters standard set, passing 8 flight level 200. Release the cabin crew after takeoff. Checklist is complete. So nice clearance, and I'm guessing, like going out of Gdansk, I'm going to have someone vector me into Krakow. I'm not sure. We'll find out later. It's a very very short flight to Krakow. So yeah, that was awesome. Very busy, very busy. Going into Warsaw there, but a great place. I'm going to do some more flights, I think, in Warsaw and some streams. Probably a slightly longer flight, so we can have a bit of a chat in the cruise and stuff, which we did not have time for today. Cool. So something you can do, again, this is SOP specific. When you've been cleared to a flight level above 150, noise is no longer a factor once you're above a certain height. You can actually get rid of climb thrust. Reduce climb thrust, so if you go to M1 limit, press delete and delete that, you get a full climb thrust. This is actually more fuel efficient, believe it or not. You'd think you burn more fuel with a higher thrust setting, but you actually don't, because look at your rate of climb. You'll spend a lot less time climbing, and it's far more fuel efficient to get full climb selected as soon as possible. So that's something we do as soon as we cleared above flight level 150.
Fuck all that.
Warsaw departure, long 4 10 Foxtrot, climbing through 3,200 for 6,000.
Hey, active room with that.
Perfect. So inbound to Avena, which is the termination of the SID. As you can see, it's a very, very short sector in the cruise there. Someone just burp, was that me? Oh dear. So there's a shortcut direct to Avena there, so we can terminate that. And that. And now we can get Krakow up already.
After full established, they give me a go around for another aircraft crossing my route. And after
okay, this guy's cracking me up. Right, arrival going to be a Kukam 2 Golf. Where are we? Kukam 2 Golf. Excellent. So the arrival Kukam, Kilo 512. I'll have arrival again, so these little points there, but we'll probably anticipate a shortcut direct to Vaxov. Back approach will be ILS 27. Oh, don't forget to do the pre-cruise check, guys, at 100. Fuel lights, AP off, pressurization set. 3.0 climbing. Release passengers already. Cool. There we go. ILS 25, and we'll just get the back We want airport, excuse me guys, and we want airport info, there we go. So runway 25, probably vacated Foxtrot. I think Echo is unavailable for a 737. It's for Noir aircraft. I've flown to Krakow quite a few times in real life, so I'm reasonably familiar. And then in on the taxiway, and then parking's here, any of the stands there. But this, I've only got default scenery, I didn't find a decent Krakow payware scenery to be nice. We'll just have the parking stands and coordinates, so we'll come in here.
To just confirm director Whiskey Alpha 5.
Excellent, coming off Bravo, invite Golf, and then we'll probably go for stand 1 or something straight ahead. Perfect. Ronnie Stevenson, which chart did you get for the noise abatement for 3,000 feet? Well, it's actually on my operators. They have a guidance document. It does sometimes translate that on the Warsaw sheet. I haven't looked on the Warsaw chart exactly, but there might be some information there regarding the noise abatement departure procedure. But it was definitely an ADP1. I'll try and have a look later for you. So you see this kind of fog blank. This is probably exactly what it looked like over Poland now. It's kind of mist settles. This time of year they always get low visibility, just where it is geographically. Madhu, how old were you when you started flight simming? I was about 11, 12 years old, and I got it for my birthday. I asked for it. Flight Simulator 98 was it? And then the one I probably used was 2002. But that was very different simming back then. I think VATSIM existed, but it was in its infancy, as was the internet. So I used to have dial-up connection growing up. Half of you probably wouldn't even know what that is.
Yeah, I do. I use Microsoft Flight Sim 98.
Good afternoon, Ryanair 5CR.
98, yeah. I use that.
Excellent, so definitely want to start reducing ready climb now, vertical speed 1000. And we'll look at the approach to Krakow, but as I said, I'll probably do it, yeah, if it's weather's not too bad, we'll show you a raw data approach once we've got the gear down flight 15.
2002, yeah, same me. And then I've got X-Plane 10, now 11.
Maintain 7,000.
How much more advanced, better X-Plane 11 is to 10 as well. X-Plane 10 is good.
John, can you simulate emergencies? Yeah, probably not in today's stream, My last stream, the engine failed completely.
You got VNav on? Like level change, is that on as well?
Unscheduled, which is a bit interesting, but I didn't react it correctly. But, yeah, we can plan a bit. I'm not going to do it on a VATSIM event or something.
That's supposed to be on the VNav.
We wouldn't really appreciate that. Like that guy that had the autopilot failure earlier, it wasn't very popular on first. So just checking the weather in Krakow, looks okay, 7,000 metres, no significant cloud, 10 degrees, QNH is 1014. So yeah, very short flights like this, a very low cruise level. Probably go a tad higher in reality. But we've got the QNH set. And then for Krakow, 1.0.3. Oh, I think the same ILS frequency it was in Warsaw. Final approach course is 253. Set and the minimums going to be Cat 1 ILS, category C, 997 feet. Now I had that issue earlier where we couldn't set it, but it looks like it's working now. There we go. Excellent. So 997. It's now set. No, I really rushed that setup earlier on the transit because that should be set to 800 feet. That's the land elevation there is So 800 feet in Krakow.
Oh, that's what you do
RVR
with
required
the-
is 550
that's right,
meters, and the star very simple. Just going to modify it slightly to allow for a CDA there. Legs, step, 3,000 feet or above here. So if you want to learn what I'm doing here, I've got a high energy approach tutorial which kind of explains in a bit more detail what we're doing. And I'm just going to go Kilo 504 for a second.
What did you do?
Direct
Did you
to
slow down?
Vaxob.
We're not all fucking pilot you.
So I'm not gonna, just want to see what the altitude would be if we got that shortcut at Kilo 504. It says 4,830, so erase that. Or just put 4,900. And again, that just allows for a, allows for a CDA if we get a straight in there. Cool. So that is it. Everything we need is tuned. LVPs probably actually wouldn't be enforcing Krakow at the moment because the visibility is in excess of 5,000 metres, so we won't go into too much detail about that. But yeah, we'll probably get vectored Kilo 504 somewhere towards Vaxov onto the ILS. Landing performance wise, long enough landing distance available. We've got 2,300 metres. And we're probably going to vacate at Foxtrot. There is Delta here, but you have to stop pretty quickly there. So I'm just going to go water brake 2, flat 30. I'm not going to do the OBT performance, but you have to do it for every landing usually, but because you can't see it, it's not much point. Burning about 600 kilos of fuel, 60.6. Flat 30, water brake 2 as discussed. Idle reverse we'll use as well. That's it, so I guess we'll stay with this guy and hopefully he'll hand us over to someone else or Descent. I'm not sure if he's going to vector us all the way into Krakow. We'll find out shortly. Oh no, there is Krakow Tower online, that's pretty cool.
What?
125.45 broadsword 02. Good day.
What's it?
Next radar frequency. Excellent. Busy here. Look at this, look. Providing radar service for all of these airports. Unbelievable. This guy's going to be super busy. Yeah, very busy. I haven't had much chance to look at some of the chat messages, but I understand my Nightbot's been a bit over the top with the information and stuff. But if you're putting anything that's on the banned words list, you get booted or warned. So I'll probably keep it there. So we'll just get checked in with this guy, especially as we approach the top of descent. I should have selected VNAV as well at top of climb. Right. Just going to bug the descent speed, which is 273 knots actually. Perfect. Well, very busy again, so I'm going to have to just get in there as soon as possible and get descent.
3000 feet, Courage 104,
Radar, good evening. Broadsword 02, flight level 200, direct to Negov, request descent.
Station calling, say again your call sign.
Broadsword 02, flight level 200, direct to Negov for Krakow.
Also Broadsword 02, hello Warszawa, radar contact. Cleared Kukam to Golf arrival, runway 25 in Krakow.
Cleared the Kukam 2 Golf arrival and request descent, Broadsword 02.
Broadsword 02, descent flight level 150.
Descent flight level 150, Broadsword 02. So that's set 150 check. Just going to go level change because we've just passed top of descent point. I'm not sure where my vertical profile's gone on VNAV. I'm just going to go direct to Negov just to try and fix that. But there should be a little vertical profile there for descent. Not sure where it's gone. Perfect. So, for some reason I've lost all the descent information. Oh, there it is. There you go. Perfect.
Lot 301, descent to flight level 20.
So I don't know if there's an ATIS frequency for Krakow, but I'm reasonably happy with the weather. Can't find online, just find Krakow Tower.
For level 150,
Broadsword 02.
Lot 4 Tango Foxtrot, descent to flight level 210.
Yeah, just Krakow Tower.
descent to level 210, lot 4 Tango Foxtrot.
Cool, and the Krakow Tower probably next guy, 123.25. So yeah, 16 minutes flight time, we're already descending. Super short sectors. Oops.
ED1 for Alpha, contact approach 128.8.
Cool.
128 for Alpha, thank you, with the same flight.
So again, just as we're descending here, you know, just sticking with level change. I could go VNAV, but because we've only got 2,000 feet to go, you want to try and slow the rate of descent down as you approach your cleared flight level to in a real aircraft to avoid getting any RAs there.
Austrian 5907, Austrian 5907, contact Kraków Tower, 123.250, thank you.
So he's transferred onto Krakow Tower. So 1 to go, just going to reduce that rate of descent, vertical speed, just take a few knots off the speed so we just don't add any extra energy to the aircraft.
Request descending lot 319. Lot 319, descent flight level 150 and contact approach 128.8, thank you. Descent 150 and contact approach, thank you, bye bye, lot 319.
Cool, just looking at some of the other comments. Supposed to do a takeoff and stuff. So I've only got top chat on this. I'm so new to streaming, guys, still, so if I miss loads of questions, sorry about that. You know, I do try, but generally in the descent critical phases I haven't got that much time to look at what people are asking. So again, getting quite high, but we can't go low because we've been cleared to 150. So we're just going to take some speed off the aircraft there. Yeah, hopefully no engine failures. The last time we did a second sector, the old engine conked out and going into standstill. Baraka, more whiskey. When do you set the start wishes to flight? So severe turbulence, we move it to flight to prevent the engines from flaming out less likely. Very, let's see if he's calling me. Very heavy precipitation flight. Certain memory items. So if you had loss of thrust on both engines, move it to flight as part of that procedure. But generally, we only use continuous, which lets the present igniter. So if you put it to continuous, the right igniters fire. If you put it to flight, all the igniters fire. So it just decreases the risk of an engine flame.
Detail 3000, clear for ILS 2, established.
So we're getting super high again. It's a theme with most of the approaches here.
Descent flight level 100.
Descent flight level 100, broadsword 02. So that is set 100 checked, level change, go straight to 250 knots. And don't worry if you get, you know, it's quite aggressive pitching down here. You know, you'd be floating in the rear of the cabin if you got that. Oh geez, that's a bit sensitive. But yeah, rates of descent around 4,000 to 5,000 isn't that unusual. You know, isn't that unusual? But the rate, you know, the rate at which it's changing, that is unusual. It shouldn't be so quick there. But yeah, it should be a gradual acceleration to 250 knots. Just got a private message from Ryan F5 Sierra Mike. Keep up the great videos. Thanks a lot. You're welcome. Perfect. So again, I consider using speed brake. We've only got 3,000 feet to go, so I'm going to use a tiny bit there. But you've got to bear in mind that, you know, your cleared level's coming up as well, just to try and get as much of the profile back as possible.
Control, Ryanair 42, Oscar Foxtrot with you. Flight 370, directing Oscar.
Perfect. So yeah, seatbelt sign should go on now. It's at 150.
Hello.
Set to that.
El Polonia 112. El Polonia 112. You were headed off to approach about 10 minutes ago. I don't know where you have been, but for now, contact approach. 128.8. Thank you very much.
He's terrible.
Roger, 128.8.
And confirm that runner for.
So we're on the arrival now.
Runner for Echo
I'm just going to again slow the aircraft down with one to go, just because we're about 1,000 feet high. Keep the speed brake extended just to help it slow down. So yeah, it needs fine tuning. Okay, it's very aggressive and it's actually climbing slightly, so it should be a little bit smoother with the pitch there, changing speed.
Okay,
so inbound now to inbound to Kilo 504, max 220 knots. We're good here. We're just going to keep the speed about 220 knots, complying with the speed restriction coming up. Remember that 4.9, that's for a straight-in approach. So if we don't get the straight-in approach, we'll go all the way around here, and we should be all right. 1,000 feet you could deal with just about. Right, so approaching flight level 100, so definitely want to slow the speed brake now. Approaching 100, we'll do the post-cruise check, so fuel, lights. Descend altitude 4,000 feet, QNH 1014, broadsword 02. So that's set, QNH 1014 coming in, 10,400 for altitude, 4,000 feet, no flags, and the standby altimeter is set. We'll just finish the post-cruise check, so fuel, lights, APU is off. Pressurisation still good, that's all set, seatbelts on, recall, and we've got about 10 minutes to landing, guys, 10 minutes to landing.
1014, lock up my wash up.
So it's traffic. It looks like it's ahead of us.
We can start giving clearance one by one, please.
So this guy's got to get clearance as well. Just going to bug 240, let the aircraft accelerate. There is traffic. Ooh, 1,700 feet below us. We'll be cleared to 4,000 feet. I wouldn't say that's very, very good. Can't see him. Yeah, that would be a big concern if you be cleared to 4,000 with TCAS like that. That's going to be pretty tight. We'll be getting a TA now. There's a TA, look. Ooh, can you see him? I can't. Yeah, you know, in real life I obviously would mention this, but I'm going to carry on. Oh god, that is really tight. Yeah, that is crazy. That'd be an RA now, and I'd probably would be responding to that. 500 feet below, 400 feet below. What the hell?
What's here?
Polonia 19 Sierra. Warszawa, flight plan.
You'd have to ascend there, wouldn't you?
So he's, I know where he is, but he's super close. We would have been tight. That would be proper RA, follow the manoeuvre and stuff, and that would be high risk there. That's really, really dodgy. I don't know what this controller was there. Oh well. Anyway, let's concentrate on the task at hand. Speed brake extended, just going to go 250. Profile's coming back in nicely. So I'm hoping we would get a vector to go straight in, but we're on profile for that. If we are now on profile to go straight in, but if we do this, we're now going to be low. So we'll actually go back to stowing the speed brake. We'll just go back to 220 knots, which is the speed restriction coming up anyway.
001, thank you. Just wind is calm, runway 27 clear to land.
Perfect. So it shouldn't be pitching up like that. So yeah, I see some comments. Yeah, I think that was a ghost TCAS. Yeah, I don't think that was there. I don't think the controller would have allowed that to happen. I know these guys are pretty good at doing that. Excellent.
Scandinavian 1736, hello Warszawa, radar
So we could still accept a straight in. We go straight to flat 5, 220 speed brake. But seeing it looks like he's not even handed us to Krakow Tower, we'll just fly the arrival, make a left turn, and just keep a very shallow descent from that point onwards. So we always allow for this kind of worst case for high energy approaches. Stow the lever of shame. So yeah, our captain once told me when I started, this is called the speed brake lever. That's lever of shame. It's absolute nonsense. You know, it doesn't mean you've messed anything up. It's there as a tool. If you need to use speed brake, use the goddamn speed brake. It wouldn't fit it otherwise. Yeah, that's used as a tool when you need it. So now we're getting quite. Because we're flying this direction here, we're getting quite low. We're just going to really shallow off. Vertical speed 400 feet per minute. So I'm hoping he goes to Krakow Tower soon. So because we're going this direction, really shallow descent now. So low. So don't ignore this. Ignore this now. This isn't correct because it's based on us being at a lower height. 4,900 feet.
Hello, clear to destination Warszawa, flight route, departure runway 25 via Model 1 Juliet departure, scope 4511.
Got 39 Golf, clear Warsaw via runway 25, up to 1 Juliet and 1
Perfect, so definitely want to give this guy a nudge because we're on the localizer soon. It's got the ILS identified, Kilo Romeo Whiskey.
Lot 39 Golf, squawk 4511. 4511.
4511, lot 39 Golf.
39 Golf,
yeah, I think guy might have. Two things could have happened. He's either forgotten us or he told me to contact Krakow Tower earlier and I forgot. Which is probably the most likely reason. But I'll give him a nudge.
39 Golf, say again the last part.
Lot 39 Golf, estimated off block at 163.
So there's the guide slope. Mod's taking a bit of a shortcut there.
We are fully ready when able.
I really need to contact Krakow Tower now. Or Krakow Approach or someone. Ooh, where's the mod taking me, guys?
Ryanair 3166, no federated switch monitoring command to the simulator, radar services are terminated. Thank you.
Really need to check in now, Krakow. Broadsword 02, we're approaching the localizer for Krakow.
Broadsword 02, thank you. We're establishing the localizer, descend on the glide path and report still established on the glide path.
Wilco, Broadsword 02. Okay, so he's cleared us the approach and descend on the ILS. Well, arm approach now, Vorlocks established. You can really shallow off the vertical speeds. And it looks like the weather in Krakow is absolutely fine, guys. So let's keep it at 220 knots for now.
Hurry up!
Hello, Warszawa, radar.
We can bug the up speed and actually going to go straight to flap 1. So if you want to on the ILS, you want to really get flap 1 selected, otherwise your speed could run away from you quite quickly. So glide slope capture, missed approach altitude 4,000 feet is set. And flap 5.
Flyer 001, thank you, continue, send out your choice. Do miłego.
Good.
Thank you very much.
And set away. Broadsword 02, fully established ILS 25 Krakow.
Broadsword 02, thank you. Maintain speed 180 or greater until 6 miles final. Contact tower 123 decimal to 50. Thank you.
180 knots or greater until 6 miles. Contact on 123225. Broadsword 02. Dziękuję. Or 25. It's 225 on the chart. Let's go with this one. So he wants 180 knots till 6, which will give him. We'll just leave it at this speed here, and then we'll slow down straight away. Krakow Tower, good evening. Broadsword 02, established ILS 25, approaching 10 miles.
Broadsword 02, good evening. Wind 040 degrees, 5 knots, runway 25, to flat.
Runway 25, cleared to land. Broadsword 02. Awesome, so clear to land. We would have done the approach checks, but we're already on the ILS, course is set. Cabin crew, imagine they're seated. And yeah, got landing clearance. We're just holding on the landing checklist, guys. So what we're going to do, we're going to configure about 5-6 miles. And once we've got the landing checklist done, I'm actually going to go raw data. And I'll show you some of the things we teach in the sim. So raw data is when I turn the flight directors off, just looking at the PFD. It's quite, this is where the mod really shines, because the attitude and thrust settings which work in the real aircraft and the sim in real life work for the mod too. You know, it really utilises the flight model that X-Plane 11 has. So we'll have a go at that, see how we get on using the raw data, see how we get on. Alright, so we'll configure a bit earlier for that. So gear down, flat 15, 180 till 6 we've maintained. Oops. Landing checks, flap start switches are... continuous. Oops. Oh, don't do that. Recall. Checked. Speed brake on, green light. Landing gear. Down 3 green, auto brake 2 set holding at flaps. 175 for flap 30. Match speed. Swapnil, do we fly raw data online? No, we don't. We do not. It is not permitted. Flaps, 30 green light, landing lights on, checklist is complete. Right, so raw data. This is great for me to practice actually, because we're not allowed to do this. Disconnect autopilot auto throttle, and flight directors off. Okay, so here we go. What we want to do here is really know your target attitude and thrust setting for the phase of flight. So for flap 30 on a 3-degree ILS, you want about around 57% in the real aircraft. It looks like about 53 today. That's based on around 60 tons. So you see already how the glide slope's pitching up. So I'm going to make a change on that already. Target rate of descent around 750 feet per minute is what you need to maintain the glide path. Speed's already going low, so I'm scanning all the time. I'm scanning my speed, the localizer, glide path, thrust, 1,000 feet checked. I'm going to make a slight turn to the left. Usually when we teach this you wouldn't be able to see the runway, so that is cheating a bit. So I'm really going to pitch up now because I'm getting 1 dot. We don't want to get any lower than 1 dot. So set about 650. Speed's good, a little bit low still, so adding about 57%, which is the target thrust setting. Back onto the glide path, so set that target attitude around 1 degree again. 1 degree works quite well, flat 30, 60 tons. There we go. Localizer telling me to fly right, so make the slightest turn. There we go.
Continue with British Flight 14 contract.
I have got a raw data tutorial, which is always there. Yeah, voice is a bit higher, just saw the corner of my ear. I put the mic in front of my mouth accidentally. So you can see how the glide slope's getting really sensitive now. So I'm just going to pitch onto the horizon.
500.
There we go, back to 2 reds, 2 whites, just keep that rate of descent going. Ooh, getting a little bit high again. So just set around 1,000 feet, no more than that. There we go. Back onto the Pappies now, really, over the threshold. 60-metre wide runway here in Krakow, so it makes you look like you're low. Continue. Should get the radio altimeter flashing there. Look at the ends of the runway.
50, 40, 30.
Check.
20.
Close. Just hold the attitude. Hold the attitude. Or a little bit firm. Speed brakes. Up reverses. Just going to stick with idle reverses. It's the last flight of the day. Excellent. What? 100 knots. And here goes 80 knots. Start with the manual braking now.
80 knots.
And that was a little bit of a demonstration of a raw data. We did something slightly different, which I try to do every. There we go. Cancel reverse. Stopping is assured. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Krakow. Flight time at 35 minutes. Excellent. So this is just default scenery, so probably not in the right position or anything like that. Bring it to around 10 knots for a 90-degree turn. There we go. There we go. What a day, huh? No engine failures though, huh? Anything like that.
Lot 4 Tango Foxtrot, wind is 040 degrees, 5 knots, runway 25, clear flat.
Excellent.
Quick line runway 25, lot 4 Tango Foxtrot.
So we'll wait for his clearance. Usually port runway vacated, but he's already cleared someone to land, so he knows we're vacated. Excellent. Well, my rudder's slipping on my floor. Oh.
Sword 02. Continue taxi via Bravo, Golf, Zulu, Alpha, to gate number 3.
Cool. Taxi Bravo, Golf, Zulu, Alpha for gate 3, broadsword 02. Okay, so I don't have the proper scenery here, so we'll see how we get on there. We'll have to probably guess that. Probably should mention it here, but it's quite quiet. So flaps can now go up, speed brakes stowed. Check the system page for the hydraulics. +1. Set that to 100. And probes off. Recall. There we go. Pretty proficient at taxi and flow single pilot. That should be master caution, anti-ice for the probes. There we go. 30 knots up to this taxi speed there.
Excellent. A cool flight.
So yeah, I saw the circular version of the Barrow minimums went back to circular for some reason at minimums, but this is quite a new feature there. And I think Zebo, I need to mention you on Discord, but you should be able to download this exact version of the mod I've used for the stream now. So 3.31G should be now public. It usually releases them after I've done a stream. And you can see there, it's just brilliant. We did 2 sectors, didn't even shut X-Plane 11 down. It's been working absolutely fine all day. Just the minor little things which we're working on, but it's yeah, it's you can just match real world procedures in this every time, and it works perfectly. Very good. So I'm having a look here on the charts. I couldn't find any decent scenery here for Krakow. He said Golf Zulu, gate 3, which is here. Excellent. So this is where the military apron is. There's lots of military aircraft here in Krakow. That's in Bravo. Excuse me. Just looking for gate Golf, which should be this one here coming up. Gate Golf there.
Lot 4 Tango Foxtrot, welcome Kraków, continue taxi via Foxtrot, Bravo, Golf, Zulu, Alpha, to gate number 9.
Because that's the aircraft that's landed.
Bravo, Golf, Zulu, Alpha, Lot 4 Tango Foxtrot.
Was that Lord? I didn't get that call sign. It's a short taxi. John, we're nearly there now. Coming onto the apron now. APU, can we now start? Invite Gate Golf. I'm guessing these aircraft are on prepared, seeing they're floating halfway in the sky. Perfect. So Max, oh, there's a taxi edge like that shouldn't be there. So I'm guessing he's on stand 1 because he's right in the corner, that's stand 2, so we're going to go right next to this turboprop. Here, which is stand 3, so that would be my best kind of estimate. So they can probably only just see my rudder fin. Calling passenger Escobar. Yeah, he's like that random guy on the who calls all the PAs with special food requests. Unbelievable. Alright, cool, so oh, I can't see that freaking aircraft because it's floating halfway in the air. I'm guessing this is stand, oh no, because he's on that stand. We'll just take the next stand here. He's on stand 2 probably, so we'll go here. It's probably not correct ideally, but it'll work for us. Cool, AP's on the bus. Oops, I absolutely messed up that taxi. Anyway, there's no gate guidance, no scenery here, so we'll just bring it to a stop on this taxi line here. Brilliant. Okay, parking brake set. Michael Gaff coming in again for another donation. 10 zloty. Coffee, crack off. Thank you very much. Awesome, MP on the bus, 2 blues, red, edges dead. Full shutdown checklist as it was the last flight of the day.
Austrian 5, number 8, good evening one more time. Your clear to the Cessna flight departure on 2523 Juliet, it's clock 4543.
Just wait for the N2 to drop below 20% there. Excellent. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Krakow. We are in one piece. What a day, what a day. It was awesome, really enjoyed that. So get logged off box. Disconnect. There we go. So we're not bothering them anymore. And then we will look at the replay, which I know people always want to see. I like this little jingle, guys. Sorry if you're complaining about it. Right, flight toggle replay modes. And I'll sign out from the approach. We'll get you some nice spring moves. So guys, once again, thank you very much for meeting me in the stream for the 2 Sec today, celebrating 100 years of Polish independence. Very busy, holding into Warsaw. Autolands, Cats Free, we all did it safely as possible. We all arrived in one piece, which is the important thing. And I look forward to seeing you on the next stream, maybe in a couple of weeks' time, might be a bit longer because we're going for a little break. I'm off work at the moment for that. So I hope you get you there, and maybe a tutorial as well at some point as well. But once again, thank you very much for all the subscriptions and donations, and I'll see you on the next stream and tutorial. Have a great evening, guys. See you soon.